Welcome. I'm Kim, coming to you from the beautiful La Romana area of the Dominican Republic. This is the view that I have for you today for our practice. So in this yoga practice, perhaps think of ways that you might bring some more self-compassion into your day. We can be so hard on ourselves, such critics. But today, I want you to feel kindness for yourself, that you're showing up for your practice to feel better in your body and your mind. So let's begin in mountain pose. Mountain pose, we simply come to standing with our feet parallel. You might want to rock a little forward and back to begin to find balance in the four corners of your feet. So by that I mean finding that your big toe mounds are grounded, your pinky toe mounds are grounded, and your inner and outer heel. So just rocking a little bit side to side. And turn your palms to face forward. Draw your belly button to your spine, engage your core, roll your shoulders back and down, and then I invite you to take some stillness for a few breaths. You might want to close your eyes or soften your gaze and look down at the earth, but just begin to center yourself for your practice today with me. Mountain pose offers us that reminder to find the security underneath, to feel supported by the earth. But if you were to travel to the top of the mountain and breathe into the blue sky around you, you'd feel spaciousness. So take a few more breaths as you arrive into your practice in mountain pose. Wonderful. Blink your eyes open. So for today's practice, you might like to have a chair handy for balance. You might like to have a strap available or a belt, and of course have some water for hydration. So let's begin to warm up our body, get our blood moving. I call these no jumping jacks, and it's just as it sounds. So inhale, reach arms up, thumbs up toward the sky. It doesn't matter how high you lift. Maybe your arms come to shoulder height, maybe a little bit more, but collarbones open. And then as your hands come down, you bend your knees any amount. Keep your chest lifted. Inhale, stretch your legs, stretch your arms. Exhale, bend your knees, spine nice and long. Beautiful. The pace is entirely up to you. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bend your knees, spine long. And let's just go through a few more of these. No jumping jacks. How about that? We still get our cardio, but we don't need to lift our feet off the floor, off the mat. Reach it up, breathe out, down. Perhaps you're already starting to feel some good energy. Yoga helps us to do that, to feel more vibrant in our bodies, to clear out our minds. This is compassion. This is self-compassion, doing this for yourself. That's not selfish, that's self-love. Let's take 5 more. Beautiful. Shake out your hands, shake out your feet. Just stand back in mountain. This time I'm going to place one hand on my belly, one hand on my heart, and just feel your heart rate slowing down after that movement. Feel your breath smoothing out after that movement. Yoga is so much about awareness. You become aware. How do my muscles feel? How do my joints? What can I do to either create some strength or some stretch? We notice what's happening with our breath. Am I breathing? Can I breathe a little bit fuller? All right. So I'm going to hold on to the edge of the chair. This is tall mountain. So the same thing as we were doing before, except this time we're going to reach our arms up. Again, they can be out to the sides, thumbs up, or maybe you keep taking those arms up a little bit higher if that's available for your shoulders. It's just important to keep our spine long and our chest open. So if your arms are up above your head, turn your palms to face each other. That's safest for your shoulders. That's called external rotation. I'm going to demonstrate with the chair. You may like to lift your heels for tall mountain, working on balance as well. Keep drawing your navel to spine. Strong core in tall mountain. Feeling tall and proud. And courageous today. And lower back down. Wonderful. Roll out your wrists. Get some space in your joints. Always wonderful to have space in our joints. Rolling the other way. All right, in yoga, we've got different types of sun salutations. Some common ones are half sun salutations, Sun Salutation A, and Sun Salutation B. So we're going to do a little bit of all of these today with some modifications. And as always, move safely for your body. It's not important how far you go. It's just important that you do it safely for you. All right, so half sun salutation. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, hands on your knees. Lift your heart, little lift. Exhale, straighten your legs, reach back up toward the sun, and hands to prayer. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, reach up, and hands to knees. Lift your heart, and stretch your legs, reach your arms, hands back to prayer at your heart. One more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to knees, sitting back into an imaginary chair. Lift your heart toward the sun and stretching back up toward the sky and hands to prayer. Wonderful. We'll add on for a Sun Salutation A now. It goes like this. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive. Take a half lift and exhale. Well, imagine we're stepping back for a downward facing dog using the chair, just stretching your hips back. Then stepping your right foot forward, ground that back foot, your left foot. So if you're using a yoga mat, your left toes would be facing the upper left corner of your mat. So your hips are squared forward, bending that front knee. It's not important how far you bend it. Maybe you're here, that's fine. Just avoid taking your knee in front of your toes. That'll stress your knee. We don't want to do that. So keep pressing strongly into your back foot. Again, hips are squared forward, shoulders over your hips. And you're welcome to keep your hands on your hips. That might feel best for your body. Option 2, let's take our arms out to the side, thumbs face up. Or if it's available to you, feel free to goal post your arms. Take 5 breaths here in Veer Bhadrasana 1. That's just the Sanskrit. It's a fancy way of saying Warrior 1. Sometimes it's fun to learn a new language, isn't it? 2 more breaths in Warrior 1. Bring your hands to your right knee. Use your chair. Step your back foot up. Let's take some big hula hoop circles before we take the other side. Oh, I feel the energy increasing in my body. Do you feel that? Oh, so good. All right, let's take that same sequence, Sun A, on our other side. Inhale, sweep your arms up toward the sky. Exhale, hands to knees. Take a little lift of your heart. And then step it back for our modified downward facing dog. You can bend your knees. Keep your spine nice and long. And now let's step our left leg forward. Our right foot is grounded. Now, if that doesn't feel good to have your right foot grounded, feel free to lift your heel. Because when your foot is grounded, there's a tiny, tiny twist in low back. So you see, how does that feel in your body today? Now recalling, hands could stay on the chair. You could bring your hands to your hips for Warrior 1. If your heel is down, see if you can press into the knife edge of your foot even more. Draw your navel to spine. You could probably feel the strength in this pose already. So if somebody was to walk in, they would think, oh, She doesn't look like she's doing much, or he doesn't look like he's doing much, but you can feel how much strength is in your body right now. So you've got that second option. From hands on hips, take your arms out into a T, thumbs up, stretching fingers wide. Or perhaps you'd like to goal post your arms, lifting your heart, broaden your chest. 3 more breaths in Warrior One. Wonderful. Hands onto your left knee, step your right foot up, and let's hula hoop it out. Just moving out any tension, any tightness in your hips, and rolling the other way. Let's move on for Sun Salutation B now, and we're going to do a few modifications with our Sun B. First, let's take a sip of water. Remember, we want to hydrate throughout our day. I sometimes forget to always take a sip of water, so I want to have bottles all over the place so I see it and remember to drink. All right, let's move into our Sun B. Sun B is a little like Sun A, except we add a chair pose to it. And instead of Warrior One, we're going to introduce Warrior Two. So let's do it. All right, let's come into a variation on chair pose that I call diver. So weight is in your heels, you're bending your knees, sitting back like you're sitting into a chair. Feel free to have prayer hands or diver, where you take your arms back, stretching your fingers wide, collarbones broad. Keep drawing your navel to spine. Let's take 3 breaths in diver pose. Some people like to play with diver, lifting their heels. If you're doing that, perhaps holding onto your chair. And taking the edge of the chair, we're going to step our left foot back for Warrior Two. So for Warrior Two, my front heel is lined up with the center of my back arch. So just look down at your feet and see, is your heel, your front heel, lined up with the center of your back arch? Your back foot is almost parallel to the edge of your yoga mat. And then if you look down at your knee, you can see your big toe. So your knee is moving towards your pinky toe. So starting with your hands on your hips, you can see that or maybe sense in your body that your shoulders are right over your hips. And again, drawing navel to spine, strong core. So stay here, or you can take your arms out to the sides, thumbs up to the sky, and stretch your fingers nice and wide, almost like your hands are starfish hands. Can you feel how strong your arms are working right here? Perhaps you'd like to look over your front hand and bend that front knee just a little bit more as you press into the knife edge of your back foot. And let's reverse our warrior. Back hand, back leg. Take your top arm. You can keep it right here. You can keep your hand on your hip. Or if it's available to you, reaching your arm up toward the sky. This is a lateral stretch. Can you feel that in your side body, your ribs? Keep that back leg strong. Couple more breaths. Wonderful. Come back to Warrior Two and holding the edge of the chair for triangle pose. Straightening that front leg, back hand on hip, and then tilting toward the chair. Back arm reaches up toward the sky for triangle pose. Now keep the bottom side of your ribs nice and long. It's okay if you keep a bend in that front knee, and that might feel better for your legs, for your body. And safety is always important. 3 more breaths in triangle pose. Some people ask me, do I look up? Do I look down? You can do either. Just avoid your head dropping. Bend into that front knee and come on up. And let's switch sides. I'm just going to move my chair as we pivot our feet and come into Warrior Two on the other side. So bending your front knee, checking your alignment once again. See if your front heel is lined up with the center of your back arch. Bending into that front knee, your knee is moving toward the pinky side of your foot. And check, are your hips level? Sometimes our back hip hikes up. So see if you can bring your hips level, shoulders over hips. Hands can stay right here on your hips, or maybe you want to bring them up and stretch your fingers really wide like a starfish. Perhaps you'd like to turn your gaze towards your front hand. Take 3 more breaths in Veer Bhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. There's some more Sanskrit for you today as we learn something new. It's good for our minds. With that back leg still strong, let's reverse our warrior. Back hand to back leg. Top hand or front arm can stay on your hip, or maybe you want to stretch it up toward the sky. Looking up, but not cranking your neck. Just turn your eyes to face up. A few more breaths in Warrior 3, or Reverse Warrior rather. And taking your hand to the chair for a triangle pose, straightening that front leg and beginning to pivot. Back hand can stay on your hip, or you can reach it up toward the sky. Take a few breaths. Again, your gaze could be up, it could be neutral, looking toward me, or it could be down. Just avoid letting your head drop. Keep your spine nice and straight. Feeling the strength. Your legs are really working here, so your quadriceps are firm. Couple more breaths in triangle pose. Bend that front knee, hand on your hip. Use the chair to come on up. And bring your feet a little bit closer. Let's take coat sleeves. It's just an easy, gentle twisting motion. Back heel lifts as you just twist from side to side, releasing the effort in your legs and arms and shoulders. You're doing such great work today. And it's important that we take care of ourselves, that self-compassion, self-love. All right, let's take a hold of our strap for a little shoulder opener. So holding the strap behind you, and then just taking your hands away from your body a little bit, opening up your chest, press your feet into the floor, draw your belly button in towards your spine and up. 5 breaths here. All right, remove your strap. We've got a couple more standing poses before we come down to our chair. So for this next one, this is called pyramid, and I'm going to stand sideways, placing my right foot forward, my left foot back, stretching the back of my leg. So you'll probably feel this in your hamstring muscle. So hinging forward to the chair, you could have your chair upright, or you could bring your hands to the lower seat of your chair, wherever you need to be to feel that stretch. Now, if it feels better to have a micro bend in your front knee, please do what you need to do to feel safe. Spine is nice and long, so we're not rounding our back. Let's take a few more breaths in pyramid pose. And bend your front knee, step your back foot forward. Let's switch sides. Stepping your right foot back. Your toes are pretty much both facing forward. Some people like to have their feet wider. That feels a little bit more balanced. Straightening your front leg any amount and coming forward with a straight spine, flat back. Hands could be at the top of the chair, or you could take them to the seat. See if you can draw your right hip forward, your left hip back. And breathing fully, shoulders relaxed. And bend into that front knee and step it forward. We're going to do a balance pose now called tree pose. So shift your weight into your standing leg that's closest to the chair. Your opposite foot is going to come like a kickstand at your ankle, or some people like to bring it to their calf. Some people like to bring it to their thigh. It doesn't really matter. Just avoid placing your foot on your knee. Tree, no knee, we like to say. We don't want to hurt our joints. So your hips are level here, your shoulders over your hips. Maybe you want to play with taking your hand off your hip. Your arm could extend out from your shoulder with your thumb up. Or if it's available to you, reaching your branches, we like to say in tree pose, reaching your branches up a little bit more. And if you're feeling particularly stronger today and want to challenge, maybe both arms come up for a few breaths in tree pose. Let your branches reach deeper into the earth. Your roots, I should say, come deeper into the earth as your branches reach up toward that sky. And lower it down. I'm going to switch the chair to the other side so we can take tree. And then we'll start to slow down with some deeper stretches. So let's take this final balance of our class today, tree pose. Shift your weight into your standing leg next to the chair. And take your foot to your ankle, your calf, or your thigh. Draw your navel in. Feel like you're zipping up a zipper, strong core. Hand could stay on hip, or maybe you reach your arm out to the side with your thumb face up, keeping your collarbones and chest nice and open. Or perhaps those branches reach up toward the sky a little bit more. Maybe you're playing with taking both hands up toward the sky, reaching those branches toward the sun. And bring your foot back to the earth, hands at prayer. Just pause for a moment, closing your eyes or gazing down. All right, let's bring our chair forward. And have a seat into your chair for these next couple poses before we finish our class today. So this one I call seated pigeon. It's a really nice one for your hips. So bringing your right ankle onto your left knee and just lifting that knee, drawing your ankle back to your comfort level. Sit up nice and tall in the chair. Hands can rest, one on your ankle, one on your knee. Some people like to lean forward just a tiny amount, not rounding, but you might feel that a little deeper into your hip by leaning forward. If you still need more and it's available to you, you could bring your elbows onto your ankle and knee, but again, keeping your spine nice and long. Two more breaths. Feeling this yummy stretch in your hip and glute. And let's switch sides. Bringing your left ankle onto your right knee. Lifting your knee, draw your ankle back just a tad. And then just sit upright, or you've got those other two options if that's available to you. Leaning forward slightly, not rounding back, or maybe elbows to knee and ankle. Nice full breaths. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. And bring your foot back to the earth. Let's take a seated twist. So bringing your right hand to your left knee, your back hand on the side of the chair. Sit up nice and tall, and as you exhale, twisting just a little bit. So your head does not need to move in this twist. Just let it be mostly in your mid-spine. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, gently twisting. Take 3 more breaths here. Oh, that feels so good in my back. Let's take it the other way. I want you to feel really good in your spine and your whole body today. So taking your hand to your opposite knee, your back hand behind you on the chair. Let your sitting bones root into the chair and sit up nice and tall as your crown reaches skyward. And exhale, a gentle twisting. Keeping your ears over your shoulders. Inhale, sit up taller. Exhale, gently soften into your twist. 3 more breaths here. and come back to center. One more move before we finish our class today, and I call this a forward fold. However, it's not as you would think. This forward fold, your hands are on your knees, you're just coming forward. Let me sit sideways so you can see this better. You're just coming forward with a long spine. Now if it's available to you and you can keep your spine long, maybe you come to elbows. Take 5 breaths. Keep your collarbones just nice and open. If your elbows are on your knees, bring your hands to your knees, press up. And sit back into your chair. Let's practice one breath work before we close our eyes for a moment and just take a final relaxation in the chair. So I call this fogging up the mirror. So raise one hand and you're going to take a deep breath in through your nose, and then as you exhale, imagine you're fogging up a mirror. Do that again. Breathe in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Feel the warm air on your hand. Now place your hand down on your lap, and let's do that 5 more times, but feel free to close your eyes and just feel that fogging up the mirror. Breathe in through your nose. Open your mouth big. Breathe out through your mouth. 4 more. Staying with your eyes closed or a soft gaze, feel your breath smoothing out. Just feel the natural rhythm of your breath. Feel a smoothness in your shoulders, your face. Feeling really accomplished for this practice that you gave yourself today. To feel stronger and more flexible in your body and your mind. And allow me to end with this quote. Self-compassion is simply giving the same kindness to ourselves that we would give to others. So let's end by giving ourselves a hug, just wrapping your arms around your shoulders, maybe a little bit of rocking from side to side, giving yourself some compassion and kindness today. You deserve it. Thank you for joining me for this yoga practice from the Dominican Republic. My name is Kim, and I look forward to seeing you in class again soon. Namaste.